I got us. Say you know I got us. Hey, 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 clap, hey, hey,
All right, all right, all right. Hey, cousin, welcome back to the Pink Table Confidential, the space where we talk about womanhood, motherhood, and all the messy, beautiful things that come with being grown, feminine, and figuring the shit out. I'm your host, Montana, and Today, y'all, we're going to be talking about something that I know has hit home for a lot of us. But before I get into this show, I want to let you know we are always and forever sponsored by Sweet Kitty Club, where I make feminine care products for the girls that like to keep it sweet. And by sweet, we mean clean ingredients for good hygiene, y'all. I am doing this thing by myself. I done already had to stop and restart, but it's okay because we gonna do it, babe. I'm a bad woman. I'm over here engineering my own thing. But anyway, before we get into it, y'all head over to sweetkittyclub.com and use code PINKTABLE for a sweet discount. And I gotta thank those of you who have tuned in for the first show, whether you shared it, liked, or commented. I do not take it for granted. So thank you so much. I'm sending loves and hugs on these internet streets. Okay, so let's go ahead and get at it. All right. Now, before we get at it, I do have a journal prompt for you this week and a free coloring sheet that I created for my girls who find solitude with doodling words, crayons, and self expressions like myself. So make sure you listen all the way through so you can get them both. And this episode, y'all, is personal. So you can go ahead, pull up your chair. You can grab your tea. You can grab your wine or even one of our kickbacks, which are our herbal non-tobacco joints. You know, it ain't no judgment here. And we're going to get into it, okay? Now, before we get into it, y'all, what the hell is going on with TP? Y'all, movie tycoon Tyler Perry is being sued for $260 million for sexual harassment from former Overstar Derek Dixon. And y'all, Derek, I think he's going to get some coins. I'm going to tell you why. Because Derek did what the old folks say, he did things in decent and in order, okay? Now, if you used to watch Judge Judy with your grandmama like I did, then you already know Judge Judy says you cannot come to court with unclean hands, which is what the defense is saying about some of these Sean Combs alleged victims. But in the case of Tyler and Derek, though he admits that he wanted to befriend Tyler for opportunities, you know, for movie roles or such, he said he was not attracted to him, and in no way did he want any romance with his boss. So y'all, Tyler is acting like he didn't understand the words that were coming out of Derek's mouth when Derek told him no. Hell, even Derek's responses via text to Tyler was reading real dry and really spelled out like, boy, gone on. But it didn't stop Tyler from groping him and making further advances. So what did Derek do, y'all? He quit. He quit that job at the Oval. And months after he quit, he filed a formal complaint with the EEOC, and that's the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. So now, in my opinion, Tyler, he already knew this was coming. It was going to come out because the boy filed a complaint. Okay, but this wasn't a good time, though, because, you know, they're out doing promo for Straw, which I'm pretty sure they cut that promo real short, okay? Even though they don't really need promo for Straw because it's a good movie, you know. But listen, Tyler, Diddy, and any man out there that can't read the damn room when these women, you know, with these women, y'all need to learn. Y'all need to learn to read the room. My advice, you know, number one, make sure that the person you feeling, make sure they feeling you back before you start, you know, sending them shit they don't want, okay? Because what y'all need to know is nobody is deleting messages, and these messages are getting y'all asses in trouble, getting you in trouble, okay? It is getting you in trouble, so you really need to be careful. Now, Y'all know we titling this show Overbooked, Overwhelmed, and Over It at my breaking point because I know I'm not the only woman that, is feeling this. The whole sense of I don't feel like myself anymore. If that's something you've ever said to yourself, you definitely not alone. And I'm going to bring you into my what the F moment, which was real random, and it's also when I had to catch my reflection and ask myself, like, girl, are you cool? And it wasn't like in a deep spiritual kind of way. It was more like I looked exhausted. I was looking like somebody who was functioning but not living. And, so one day in particular, I'm leaving the building, and the security guard, he's making small talk, and he says something like, what am I doing for the weekend? And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna get some rest. Just catching up on some rest. And he was like, well, good, cause you look tired. And I'm like, what the? Excuse me? Like, I like honesty. Okay, like, give it to me straight. I can handle the truth, but damn, like, but if I'm just being honest with myself, like, he wasn't wrong. I mean, because I did look tired. I just didn't need him telling me that shit, okay? Because I already knew it. I could see it on my face, okay? Partnered with the fact that, I was going longer without retwisting my locks. And, for those with locks, if you ain't got a fresh retwist, it's been some weeks, man, that retwist will have you looking aggravated, okay? Not having a retwist will have you looking aggravated. And I'm wearing scrubs in public, like, and pajamas, just doing a fool. Y'all, I was out here looking like a bald eagle with no lashes on it. You couldn't have never told me I would be outside with no lashes, but it happened. And that's when I realized like I really wasn't feeling like myself anymore. And it wasn't because of something big. It was just years of being everything to everybody, just pouring out, performing, making sure everybody had what they needed except me. As a matter of fact, I want you to type me in the comments if you've ever felt guilty of any of these things. So type me in the comments if you are always showing up, never saying no. Now we got to stop that shit. But granted, I do want to make a conscious effort, to show up for the people who show up for me. Not like in a like I feel obligated kind of way, but just again, I'm paying attention to who show up for me, so I try to make a more conscious effort to show them that I see them. Okay, put a me in the comment if you even forgot what you even like to do for fun. Okay, we got to find those things that we can do by ourselves. Like, I do like companionship too at times. Okay. I'm like a introvert, extrovert. Introvert, what is it? Like, I like company, but I don't. Okay. Sometimes, but go home. But I got to find joy, or we got to find joy, I guess, in just find being in love with the space we're in by ourselves. So I will gladly, take myself on a solo dolo date. I'll pull up at a bar, go eat, drink, do it. I'll go to the movies. I don't really like shopping, but I will do some shopping by myself. And I want to shout out to the people who can really like go on trips. Like, across the world by themselves. That shit needs to be studied, and I love that shit for y'all. Okay, I've met so many people who were on solo trips like across the world. That is crazy. Okay, but I do miss like, was missing like planning the outfits. Not just because I wanted to be seen, but just because I was feeling cute. I don't care about, what you might see now. But when it's time to get it together, your girl can put that shit on, okay? And I'll be the girl that's gonna wear the red lipstick just to go to Target. Well, not anymore, but when we was going to Target, I'll be real extra, okay? I used to put on music, act like I'm, while I'm cleaning up and act like I'm in a music video. But now I'm just finding like solitude and silence. I'll drive, no music, radio, nothing, and I like that sometimes. But put a me in the comment if you've been going through the motions, work, home, on repeat. Y'all, we got to switch it up, because we'll get in this space where days are feeling like they running together. It's like the same routine, weekly, monthly, same thing, same thing. And something I want to do, and if I have a Dallas Bay that is out there that can show me the ropes, I want to play bingo. I want to play bingo, y'all. Bingo is on my bucket list. I feel like at this ripe age, like I should be playing bingo. Point me in the bingo hall that has the biggest payouts. Because I just know it's gonna be a lady named Miss Shirley at the front. She don't play about her cards, y'all. And if you win her money, she gonna be giving you the side eye all day long. Okay. So Miss Shirley, I'm coming for you, girl. All right. But no, seriously, y'all, did y'all notice like we didn't like disappear overnight? It was like a slow progression. It was like a thousand tiny choices, a yes when you really should have said no, skipping meals, silent breakdowns in the shower, and then before you know it, you ain't even on your own damn priority list. You just surviving. Okay, we are out here scheduling appointments. I even had my grown kids asking me to schedule their appointments for the dentist and the doctor, child. Whew, anyway, we got to remember birthdays. We got to plan meals. We got to avoid burnout. We got to stay cute. Budget. We praying for everybody, checking on our parents, being supportive girlfriends and friends, healing childhood trauma. We got to drink our water. And don't even get me started on managing perimenopause or menopause or wherever the hell you falling in. And let me just add, I did my research. I asked the old lady gang, my aunties. They're in their like 60s, 70s. I was asking them about this perimenopause. And my aunt said she ain't never heard none of that shit until now. Okay. I swear it's like, I don't know if these doctors be making shit up. I don't know. They just be pulling shit out their ass. I don't know. But anyway, for us, it's in perimenopause. Like it's just too much. And if you haven't lost yourself in all of the things, please, please start your own coaching program right now because we all need to sign up, okay? And I'm not trying to discredit any race, but everybody knows that the black woman has been taught that our value is in what we do for others. That strong black woman cape is stitched into our melanin. Okay, but that cape gets heavy, and for me, it's like I have to wear that cape, and I'm the strong damn friend. Like, damn, nobody check on me unless they want something or unless they want a trauma dump. Do you know people like that? Like, when they want to vent, you are always available. You all ears. Time you like, okay, they finish their story, and you try to tell them your story, and you feel like you got to rush through it because they rushing you. They rushing you through the conversation, or maybe you just feeling like you talking to a wall. Type me in the comments if you have a friend like that, and if you are that friend, cousin, you got to do better. Okay, you got to do better. Now, I will be honest with y'all. I don't really know what it means. I guess to come back to yourself or to feel like yourself again. Just for me, it's really kind of just starting with me doing small things. Like this podcast. This has been very therapeutic. Just taking solo walks, maybe a mirror affirmation, more journaling. Okay, which I do have a prompt for you coming up. And also just saying no without an excuse. Even at the start of spring this year, Sweet Kitty hosted Sunshine and Sisterhood here in Dallas. I want to shout out to Lavita Harris, who just got engaged this past week. Girl, congratulations. She is one of my sweet baes and business friend, and she helped me coordinate the event, which we spent with other bays, and we were soaking in the scenery here in Dallas at White Rock Lake while we were coloring and journaling. And y'all, my truth moment is that was my first ever picnic in life. Like in life at 40 something years old, 47 years old, my first picnic. Ain't that something? I literally watched this chick fix her hammock between two trees. She crawled in it like she, wrapped herself like she was in a cocoon and took a damn nap. I was so jealous. I was jealous I didn't have a hammock that day. But I'm telling you, it's on my bucket list because I definitely want to get in a hammock and take a nap at the park, or just take a nap at the park. It's something I want to do, okay, with somebody watching me, like with a friend though. Okay. um but it's just about feeling free, to choose you. I used to say yes and then cancel, or maybe knowing good and damn well I wasn't coming. But now I say no. I don't feel bad about the shit. The freedom in that is a whole practice. Like being able to just say no and then take a nap. Girl, that's a whole flex. Like, no, I'm not going. You got something to do? Yes, take a nap, okay? Because one thing I love to do is take a nap, and I do love to journal. So journaling in therapy is very powerful because it helps you process emotions, gain clarity, and rebuild trust with yourself. And so for those of you who like that kind of therapy, I do have a prompt for you, okay? Because I want to know, what you would do if you didn't feel guilty. So I want you to pull out your pen, your pad, or you can open your notes app on your phone so you can take down your journal prompt. I'm going to use our reflections spiral, which you can find under our merch page on sweetkitty.com. All right. So here's the prompt. Okay, here's the prompt. Something I've wanted to do but haven't because I felt bad is. Something I've wanted to do but haven't because I felt bad is. Okay, so think about it, write about it, and if you feel safe, you can share it with me in the comments because y'all know I do read everything. Okay, isn't this cute? I just love our notebook. I love that. All right. So one of my favorite times to journal and just recenter is during my monthly V Steam session, not just, for the physical benefits, but the ritual itself. So when I use Sweet Kitty Club V Steam kits and pearls, I like to put myself in a space where I can just be, not mama, not boss, wife, just being my body, releasing what no longer serves me. Okay. This is about detoxing your spirit, not just your wound. So if you've been feeling off, cousin, it might be time to steam, reset, and come back to yourself. Okay. So I do want you guys to know we do have a code again, Pink Table. So all orders placed with Pink Table get a special discount. And my favorite V Steam blend is always hands down going to be the Disinfect blend. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. So y'all, you know what time it is. It is time for us to get into the Dear Kitty letter. Now, y'all know we got to get into this letter. This is where you send me your questions, your confessions, situationships, and I do what I do best. I listen with love, give a little wisdom, and never judge, even if it sounds like I am. All right. So thank you guys for submitting your letters to me. I'm really honored that y'all let me in the group chat, but I want y'all to know, okay, that this Dear Kitty letter, oh, it is crazy, okay? So here is the letter. Let's go. Okay. Dear Kitty, I met this guy on vacation with my homegirls earlier this year. He was fine, funny, successful, just my type. We were texting daily, FaceTiming at night, and he even flew me out once. Then out of nowhere, poof, he ghosted me. No fight, no weird vibes, just gone. I felt crazy. A week later, I'm scrolling on Instagram and boom, wedding pics. He got married, not engaged, married. Full tux, doves, flower girl, the whole nine. I guess I was his pre wedding fling. Kitty, I feel so stupid. Should I have known? Should I DM his wife anonymously? Should I just charge it to the game and keep it moving? Signed, Ghosted and Gagged. Y'all, I need you to get a first class flight on Delta to the comments right now. Okay, y'all, go to the comments for Ghosted and Gagged. Okay, y'all. First of all, before I give my response, I got a disclaimer. Disclaimer, friend. This is not your story, okay? Somebody really sent me this, okay? Because don't we all know somebody that this has happened to? Okay, this is why you have to put these dudes through checks and balances because they will be out here living double lives. Okay, and I really don't think they really all that good at it. I mean, it may have looked good for him because they weren't in the same town, so that may have made it a little easier for him, to kind of play in her face like that. But y'all have really got to start asking those hard, uncomfortable questions in the beginning, before you let him touch you. Because some of y'all be so happy to have the wrong man in your space that you stop asking pertinent questions. Like, hello. Now I can't say you should feel stupid, ghosted, and gagged because I mean, he was courting you. He was doing, some of the things, okay? But y'all know, like, y'all be meeting these dudes' representatives. The real him don't happen until he got what he came for, and that's to take you down. Which is why, since you already know that is the goal, baby, he's going to have a lot of work to do before he can take me down, okay? Now, clearly, I'm going to agree with you. You were a pre wedding fling. I just wish he was honest about the situation because maybe had he been honest, then Ghosted and Gag may have been willing to turn it up a few notches. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and do a one and done since we already know what it is. She might have been ready to turn it up because, he was honest. But I don't know about telling the wife at this point because they weren't married when the fling was happening. And, just personally, if I were the wife in this situation, anything before marriage, girl, bye. I don't want to hear it. Keep it to yourself, okay? So, yeah, sis, you got to keep it moving unless you can blackmail. Nah, I'm just kidding. But seriously, unless you can get a bag. Okay, like the Derricks and these Jane Does and the Cassies, baby, keep it moving. But no, on a serious note, cousin, you were not the clown. He was just the whole damn circus, okay? And if Karma hasn't handled it yet, trust me, she's on her way in heels, okay? I know this letter was entertaining for some of us, but it's also a reminder that if you don't know what's going on in his life, don't make him a main character in yours, okay? But again, jump in the comments so we can help Ghosted and Gagged out, y'all. And before I head into the comments to see what y'all saying, make sure that if you like this video and you're enjoying the show, if you're enjoying the show, that you like the video, I'm sorry, and make sure you're following the channel you are viewing this video on, okay? So so we're gonna go in the comments. I'm just gonna see if we do have any comments here. Okay. And while we do that, you guys, if you feel like this episode I was talking to you, that is because I was. Feeling lost doesn't mean you are failing. It just means that you've been pouring and it's time to refill, okay? You don't need a full plan to come back to yourself. You just need that one yes to yourself, okay? Now, every woman at this table has felt lost at some point, but you came here and you're doing the work and you're finding your way. And, that is something to be celebrated, okay? Here is what I want you to do. Okay, I do see a few comments here, and I'll get into those comments. But here's what I want you to do real quick. I want you to either go and download, you guys, our coloring page. I'm going to add the link in the description of this video if it's not already in there. I did ask one of my friends to help me out. Or you can, get in on the journal prompt, which is something I've wanted to do but I haven't because I felt bad, is blank. And if you've never, ever, ever V-steamed before, you guys, this is your sign to do so. You already know you can use code Pink Table. It's live, okay? So yeah, pick one thing to do. Do it for yourself. No guilt, no apology, and all of that. All right. Now, that is my coloring page that I wanted to show you. So this coloring page is available, and if you are interested in this coloring page, you can go ahead and you can comment. I'll send you the link if it's not in the comments. Like I said, today I literally, y'all, ran out the house, had everything I needed, but what did I leave? I left my laptop, and I was going to be able to pin those comments from my laptop. But I did ask a friend to do it, so I don't know if she was able to get to it for me or not, but I will come back after the video is over and I will pin the link for the coloring page in the description. So again, Pink Table if you want to shop online, but I do have some comments. Okay, I got a shout out to well, first, let me shout out to everyone who liked the video. Okay, shout out to Lavita. Okay, Lavita, did you hear your shout out earlier, girl? Tabitha, she's a bae. James, that's a bae too. Byron, hey Byron. Marsherie, Roby, Lucas, Ephraim, thank y'all for liking the video. And then for our comments, okay, Sonia, she always says my beautiful cousin. Oh, she sent me some stars, y'all. Thank you, Sonia, for the stars, baby. Thank you. That was Sonia. You are the first person that has ever sent me stars. Like, wow, I feel so woo woo woo. Okay, she said good topic though, and she was typing me all in this mug. Okay, she was saying me, 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 me. I wish. Okay, y'all gotta tell me what was y'all typing me because it was a lot of me's coming from Marsherie and coming from my cousin Sonia. So what were y'all me into? Okay, because I know it was a lot. Okay. Marsherie said, love this topic. Made me think about the lady who died because she was extremely exhausted. Oh, yeah. Okay. Because we are always being everything to everybody. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Thank you, Roby. She also shared the video. Thank you, Roby. She said, I agree with you, Montana. What do you agree with, girl? Let me know. Okay. Let me know. Dang it. Let me know. So let's see. I got another comment here. We got a few comments. Thank you. Sonia said, more to come. She's so proud of me. Thank you for being proud. Okay. Because sometimes, y'all, and that be another thing, is that sometimes we really do feel like she said no, she didn't. Well, Lavita, you got to go back and watch the video from the beginning because I did give you a shout out at the beginning. Okay, I'll put the people all in your business. But no, but sometimes y'all, we do things, and even though like for me, like I don't look for recognition for things that I do. I do what makes me happy. Okay. But I have been paying attention, and y'all know this month for June is men's mental health. And, the mental health of our men, that's very important, as it is important for our mental health as well. But I just really have been paying attention to a lot of the conversations around, you know, feeling seen and appreciated, and really what that really looks like. And sometimes I think, we miss that. A I'm proud of you, or I see what you doing, or keep up the good work. Like that really goes a long way. I can tell you, even just with me being a maker at Sweet Kitty Club, like I do not like to make products when I'm not in a good space. I don't like to do it. And sometimes, y'all, I'm gonna tell you. Listen, this is kind of off subject, but not. But I will tell you, for anybody who has ever thought about having a online business or selling products online, baby, it is not for the faint. It is not for the weak. I mean, the psychological warfare that is going on in your mind on a daily, it is sometimes it could be too much. Like for example, one day, you could with your store, you can and this has happened to me, where there was a day, y'all, I literally made $2,000 in one day. Well, it wasn't one day, it was like a couple of days. But it was, a really short period. $2,000. Like, ooh, some people, a $2,000, that's a 2 week check. You know what I'm saying? And I made it in like less than 48 hours. Okay. Made that 2000, and then days went by and I didn't make anything. And when you make $2,000, or when you make a few hundred or a couple of hundred or $100, you're chasing that every day. You want that feeling. Shopify, it's this little ding that Shopify is like a little bell, like a cash register bell that Shopify does. Like every time you get a sale, it'll ding. And that, to hear that is like, and I don't do drugs, okay? I don't do drugs. Not anything that don't come from the earth. Okay, anyway. But I don't do drugs, but I could imagine that ding is like equivalent to a hit, because that's what it feels like. It's like a hit of dopamine or something. Like, it's like it puts you in this mood, and when you don't get that, when you don't hear that sound, the whole day goes on and you don't hear that sound, baby, it does something to you. Okay, I'm telling you. So with that being said, please go to sweetkittyclub.com and shop, okay? Shop for your girl. Use code Pink Table and you're going to get a sweet discount. I'm telling you, okay? But yeah, so if you do have, friends out there who are, doing a big one, whatever it is that they're doing, make sure y'all recognize, let them know that, you see them, that, you know, encourage them to keep it going. Because sometimes, it's hard. Okay, it's hard to keep going, especially when you feel like nobody gives a damn, nobody's watching. Okay, so just want to say that. Vita said, yes, it does. When you get in order, I know that feeling. Yes, it's a feeling. It is a feeling. It is a feeling. And I'm so mad at Shopify for that little ding, because it's like, had I never heard that ding, I probably would not have, gotten so invested. But when you heard that, like, I remember y'all when we started Sweet Kitty during the pandemic, that ding was like dinging it was like every hour, every 30 minutes. It was like, oh, it was just a feeling. And now it's like hours go by. I'm looking at my phone like, is my volume on? Is it working? you know. But no, just know, okay? It is real out here for everybody. So yes, let your people know you see them, that you are watching them. And I want to say this before we close out. I was watching. This is something that just made me think about this. I was watching a interview with what is his name? Omar Gooding. Okay. Cuba Gooden brother, Cuba brother, okay, Cuba brother. I was watching a video, interview with Omar Gooding, and Omar was basically saying how powerful the words of, just going back to that cape that black women wear, how powerful his mother's words were when he was a kid. He said one of his co-stars or whatever on the show he was doing was trying to hit on his mama. Now Omar and Cuba mama, like she was stacked, back in the day. So I could see this young dude. He was YN, he was trying to holler at the mama, and the mama told Omar that the boy, that the young man had, tried to holler at her, and she told Omar, she said, I should have had you beat his ass. And Omar said he never even knew. He never, at this point, he never had a fight. He didn't even know he could fight until his mama spoke that into him, that I should have had you whoop his ass. And for him, I'm sorry, that was empowering to him. She empowered him in that moment just with her words, and it was the way she said it. It was like he said he kind of, stuck his chest out like, shit, my mama think I can whoop somebody ass, and that made him feel good. He was saying about a time he was walking her to the car. It was dark. It was real dark outside. And she was like, Omar, I'm going to go somewhere. Come walk me to the car. And, and he was walking into the car. He was like, ooh, mama, it's scary out here. It's something out here. And she was like, yeah, I know. That's why I got you. Again, another moment that his mama just saying, a couple of words, pumped him up. She's saying, yeah, it's scary out here, but I ain't scared because I got you. Now keep in mind, he a young dude, he a YN, at the time. So it's like, what can he do? But for him, that was life. And so, hey, that was a reminder for me, even, just dealing with my grandsons, my granddaughter, my girls. I'm always speaking life into them, but sometimes, yeah, we don't realize the power that our words really hold. So, shout out to that, okay? But anyway, you guys, thank you so much again for tuning in to another episode of Pink Table Talk. I almost said to hell with it today when I left my laptop because nothing was going right. If you were on here at the beginning, I started the show and then I was like, wait a minute, something ain't right. And then I had to stop the show and restarted. So it has been a whole production of me being a one woman show in this mug. So I don't know how it came off or came across, but I hope it resonated with you guys well. If you are not following us on our social media channels, please make sure you do that. I'm going to put those at the bottom here as well because I want you to make sure you're following us. Follow me. Stay locked always, okay, on what we're doing here. And you guys, y'all already know I can go on and on and on and on. But thank you so much again for tuning in to Pink Table Talk. All right. Like, share, subscribe, and until we see you next week, y'all know happy hoes don't hate and hating hoes ain't happy. All right. See you guys next time for Pink Table Talk.